Hello guys and welcome to the second episode of Emerge Elite. Right, this section is called From the Beginning, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through my background, my past experiences, and what kind of made me want to start Emerge Elite. So remember that in this podcast, and the whole reason of the podcast is that you're going to get the biggest in-depth conversations that I have with myself daily on business. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the in-between, and so much more. So sit back, relax. This is going to be a lot of information, and sadly, it's going to be a lot about me, and I'm sorry about that. But further along in the podcast, it will hopefully kind of make a little bit more sense of why my previous teenager self has led me to the person that I am today and pursuing the things that I am doing. So anyway, let's stop rambling and let's get on with the podcast. Right, so making a brand is not sunshine and rainbows. And this is why a lot of people who are successful express that it's a lot of work. If your mentality isn't 100% in what you are doing, then don't even try to start it. If you just think of a random idea and you don't care about the outcome, then you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Also, if you're doing it because you just want a crap load of money, lots of attention from girls and guys, or maybe that amazing lifestyle we see on social media on the daily, I suggest you stop right now and get your priorities straight. Obviously, if your priorities are to have a shitload of cash and all the guys and girls that you want, then crack on, mate. Just crack on. But if it's not, if you actually want to kind of like leave a legacy behind or make something and basically see the long-term vision, then you do need to make sure that your priorities are 100% straight. I've definitely learned that if you're doing something that you love and that you're passionate about, then you're not really working. You can call it work as much as you want, but it's not really work. Instead, it's more like you're embracing it and you're enjoying the process of your work and what you do. My working background is actually horse related. I've worked all around the world with horses. I've worked an insane amount of hours and got paid a fraction compared to my 9-to-5 friends. But for the last 10 years, I haven't wanted that to change. And I guess it kind of goes back to my passion for helping, but it also didn't mean that I wasn't doing something else in different sectors. So from the time that I started working with horses, it was around the age of 16. I was also drawing, designing, and printing hoodies for my peers. So I would draw a picture of a horse that they wanted. I would do, Emily Topping, ND diploma, this, that, and the other. On the back of a hoodie, their initials would be on the front, and it brought me in, scarily enough, quite a lot of money, though I actually never saw that money because I was a teenager and decided that going to McDonald's and doing other things was a lot better to spend that money on. But still, it was an extra income. I didn't have an income at that time. I worked outside of term time on the yard, but I didn't have much else and I wanted more. So that's what I did. After finishing college, I traveled. That's when I went to America and Spain and worked. And during that time, I didn't do anything. I literally embraced being abroad, and the life experiences that I got from that are second to none. But once I got back to England and I moved down south to the south of England where I live now, I jumped straight back onto the internet and started selling my artwork and design work on sites like Etsy, DeviantArt. There was another one. I forgot the other one. I don't know. But the majority of that, I actually never really made much money out of websites. I more made it out of word of mouth. So a friend would say that they got this piece of artwork from me and then someone else would want one, and it's amazing what word of mouth can do. Basically, if you have the right contacts and if you're a genuine person and you're nice and you're easy to approach and you work well with others, you can make a lot. So I don't even think this is bragging, but I have never ever in my life seen a 35-hour to 40-hour week, which is the standard for most people. So a 9 to 5 job, I've never seen it. I usually work between 47 and 60 hours, and that is just in my primary job. And then I'm studying business, so that's another 15 hours usually that I try and cram in. Then I'm working on Merge Elite, and then I also take photography and filmography of other people. I can do design work. Design work is really taking a back seat right now, even though it's something that I find quite easy, and I spend the least amount of time on it. Because usually it's just logos, it's little things, and it's easy to draft it up, send it over, they like it, give it to them. It's an easy turnover, basically. My friends have always said to me that usually if I have any free time, I'm filling it with something. I'm not the sort of person who will sit in front of the television watching program after program every night. I usually work, and I think people find it a bit odd because sometimes I'm working on my phone and people think they think that's relaxation time, and it's not. I'm on Instagram. Instagram is a big one for me right now. I'm on Instagram and I'm on fitness pages all over the world and going, dude, your biceps look amazing, and this, that, and the other, and really like being serious, compliment people and make them feel good, and actually show that you're not a generated program who's whacking out all of these crappy sentences like they do, and actually take note of what they're posting and interact with them. It'll get you a lot more it'll get you a lot more exposure a lot quickly. A lot quicker. Oh, you know what? I'm going to say, like, I hope throughout this podcast as well, we found out that I can friggin' speak better. Right. Keep in mind, right, now this is a big one. This is a big one because now you've just heard that I've done a shitload of stuff in my life from the age of 16 and I'm now 25. So that's 9 years of work. 9 years of consistently working long hours, hard hours, and doing a variety of side stuff. Now, this is where you really need to listen, because I'm going to be really, really honest now. And maybe it'll make me look like a bit more of a fool, but you're going to get honesty. 85% of what I have produced for other people in all of the variety of different aspects that I have, except for my primary job, which has always been with horses, 85% I have never seen a penny from. 85%. So if you think of how much work that I do, so if I do a 60-hour week anyway for my primary job, and then I'm doing maybe, 30 hours extra work a week, like, it's crazy the amount. I might only get paid between 6 and 7 hours of those 30 hours, which is insane. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's insane, right? Now, this is where it goes back to your priorities. Seriously, it goes back to your priorities. Because if I was so bothered about the money, I wouldn't have been doing it for the last 9 years. So for the last 2 years of producing Emerge Elite, I've actually lost money more than I've gained money, because making a website costs money, and it costs my time because I've done it all myself. But I've had to obviously buy the rights to the website address. I've had to incorporate the business, which costs money. I've had a variety of samples of clothing come through. That costs money. But the way that I see it is I'm investing. I'm investing into something else. I'm investing into something that hopefully in the long term, not the short term, is going to give me profit, or it's at least going to give me fulfillment. Simple things matter. And this is what I was kind of trying to get to in the last podcast, is it's not always just about money. And I think that's what a lot of people need to realize. I mean, please do not go out there and spend every penny that you've got on the latest equipment. I do videos as well. I don't have the best camera in the world. I'm very fortunate that my brother is a professional photographer, so he was able to get me a decent camera for a good price. But you don't need that fancy camera with the microphone, with the lighting setup and the best tripods and all, what's it called? Adobe Premiere Pro or something that you pay like £8 a month for. You don't need that to start off with. A friend of mine called Rob, he uses his phone. He uses his phone to record all of his content and posts it on YouTube. And I think he's got over 400 subscribers already. It is what you are giving people. It's what you are giving people, not what you're gaining back from it. So you just need to be sensible. That's where I'm getting at. So in my line of work, my design stuff, I do everything off a graphics tablet. So for 7 years, I had the same graphics tablet that cost my mum and dad £40. And, that's lasted me 7 years. So that it covered its cost. And then on top of that, I did have Adobe Photoshop. I'm very lucky that, again, my brother works in the industry and I was able to get it for free off him. He had 2 licenses. He didn't need one. I got it. Simple as. And then right now, okay, yes, I have stepped up my video game and stuff like that, but then I have a lot more people wanting photography and filmography off me. So I'm able to produce better content for them as well as myself, but it's all paid for itself. I have, as I've just stated, I have recently worked with some fitness influencers who have really taught me a lot about social presence and communication, business mindsets, and so forth. Something that I could have gone online and paid someone else to tell me to do, but I didn't, because instead all I had to do was give my time to go and meet these people, interact and learn, give them something back. I gave them a video, I gave them a free photo shoot. There was no money exchanged. But within a session or 3 or however many you want to do with a particular person, you learn a lot and you're interacting. It's like that with no money. A lot of people think that to start a brand you need a lot of money. It's not the case. Emergely is starting up with £1,000. That's it. The whole of Emergely, when it releases on its day, would have cost me around £1,000 to start. So, because I hear a lot of people say, oh, if you've got £10,000 to do all this, then this is your startup money. I'm going really low. But the difference is I know that, unlike quite a lot of people, my business probably won't be amazing in 2 years' time because I've been able to spend £5,000 on marketing or something like that. Instead, I'm relying on people that I know and the interaction I've made with them and the effect that I have on their lives and the qualities that I've given them, whether it be just me, which is speaking quite high of myself, or, which I probably think it is the photography shoots and the filmography shoots that I've done with quite a variety of people. I hope that obviously that helps me out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's a learning curve. Everything's a learning curve. So yeah, on that scale, so we have gone from me being 16 and going all the way up to 25. And then that's it. That's the whole process that I've gone through. And I guess, I guess the 3 things that you've got to take out of this is that you're going to spend a lot of time not getting paid. And you've got to be happy with that. So that leads into the second one is make sure whatever you are doing, you are passionate about and that you are not... you're not surviving on that money, if you get what I mean. So I've seen it where people have invested £200 to get maybe a couple of hundred back because they need it right there and then, and that's thinking very short term. And the third point is get ready for a lot of ups and downs. Throughout my whole career, not even just the side stuff that I've been doing, throughout my whole career, it's been a lot of ups and downs, and it's the way that you deal with it. So on that note, I'm going to wrap this up because I think I have waffled a little bit, but what I like about these podcasts is that I I don't have a piece of paper in front of me with everything that I need to talk about. I have bullet points on a computer, so it's not a piece of paper. I I have bullet points on a computer that is basically going through the main things that I want to get across, and then that's it. So I hope everyone has taken something out of that. I know it's a bit boring because obviously it's going into more my life and not more about the business, but believe me, I just needed to get these 2 podcasts out to explain who I am, what the business is, and where it's where I'm hoping it's going to go, just so that you know. But then other than that, guys, I'm going to let you go. Please leave some love if you can. If you don't want to, if you think this is crap, then I better get off. So have a great day. Have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.